Mind's up, mind's up. Thank you for tuning in with me. This is your girl, Takiyah Diamond, mindset life coach, personal development author, trainer, speaker, and all of the above, so many other wonderful things. Today, I come to you to talk to you about 8 ways that successful people overcome self-doubt. Now, if it's one thing that we know, a lot of times when we want to do something, we doubt our abilities that we can do it, or there's always something that kind of shows up to make it right as to why we think that we can't do it, right? So there's fears that pop up that say that we can't do it. There's doubts that pop up that say that we can't do it. There's uncertainty of how the outcome is going to be that makes us feel like, we can't do it, or we're doubting ourselves, we're doubting our abilities. So today I'm going to share with you 8 powerful tips, 8 powerful tools that will help you align yourself so that you can overcome this sabotaging thing in your life that we spark up all the time when it's time to progress forward, called self-doubt, limiting beliefs that keep you in a box. So now we're going to make you pop right outside the box, because that's what I came to do. I came to pop outside the box, and you did too. And today I'm going to give you 8 ways to do that, to get past the procrastination, past all of these things that say, I don't have time to do it, I don't have all of these things, right? So we're going to ship those things out, and I'm going to hop right into sharing with you what you can do to overcome self-doubt. All right, so first of all, you know that allowing self-doubt to prevent you from grabbing opportunities that may come your way is an act of self-sabotage. It's all sabotaging your greatness, okay? But the question is, how can you deal with self-doubt in a constructive way? So the first thing that you're going to do to eliminate self-doubt is you're going to stop making excuses. Stop making excuses as to why you can't do it. Now listen, self-doubt often makes us rationalize the situation to fit our emotional state. So what do I mean by that? It's like our mind finds a way to agree with the doubting belief that tells us, or the doubting feeling or emotion that we feel at the time, whether we feel low, or whether we feel afraid, or whether we feel sad, or whether we just feel unsure. Whatever it is, what happens is self-doubt actually gives us a reason in our mind as to why we can't, right? So we might be afraid to fail. We might be afraid to look bad. We might be afraid of what people are going to think about us. We might think that we're afraid to take on too much that we could really handle. And so when we do certain things like that, we make up all of these excuses as to why it can't be done. So we become adept to actually making a lot of excuses for why the opportunity that presents itself isn't really a good fit, right? So at the end of the day, we have to know that it is a good fit. If the opportunity came before you, then it is a good fit. It's something that you need to be open to, because you never know where that particular opportunity is going to lead you into another opportunity in order for you to really fulfill the big goal, or the big achievement, or the big accomplishment that you're seeking to to conquer, So I tell you one thing, the enemy is your chattering brain. That's all it is. It's your chattering mind that's giving you all these false illusions as to, what can, why can, this can, that can't, blah, blah, blah. Which if we give it so much like attention, even if we give it a nanosecond of attention, what it does is it basically produces excuses. It produces habits. It produces alibis, that transparent self justifications. You know what I mean? It's a million reasons why that we come up with why we can't, why we shouldn't, why we won't do what we need to do. So I want you to think back on some opportunities that you turned down. Think back on some opportunities that you was like, I don't know. And I want you to ask yourself, what was the reason? Like, what reason did you give yourself as to why, what, where, why, how, and why it shouldn't, why it couldn't, etc. And I want you to ask yourself, were these actually legitimate reasons, or were they just excuses? Were they excuses because of your feelings and emotional attachment and habits to uncertainty of not knowing what the outcome is going to be before actually stepping into what you need to do in order to achieve the goal, right? So what are excuses? Excuses are just mental barriers that are there to hold you back. And that's really just the bottom line. That's what an excuse is. It's there to hold you back. There's no reason for excuses. So number one, you're going to stop making excuses. Number two, you're going to be aware of your close circle. When people are successful, they usually don't have like a whole bunch of friends, right? They have associates and friends who are on the same page with them, right? And the reason why is because in order for them to elevate themselves, they do understand that their circle has to be on the same page with them, or else they could very easily get taken off the path and following the path of, a friend or someone who's just totally out of alignment with where you want to be, right? So there's a popular saying that we are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So you want to ask yourself, who do I spend the most time with, and where are they in life? And it's going to show you an inner reflection of why you are where you still are in your own life. Now, I know me, for example, I'm an optimistic person. I'm an outgoing person, and I get things done. And I can't even tell you how many slackers that I used to have around me. But because I have pushed myself to the limit, it forced them to begin pushing themselves past the limit or past the barrier of what they believed that they could do. I had so many people that used to come to me like, oh, well, I don't know what to do, and I just can't do it, and because of my past, and my mother did this to me, and my father did this, and my father wasn't there, and my mother abandoned me, and just all of these different things that are, again, excuses, you know what I mean, that get in the way. But if you have a circle of friends who are all positive, just like me, who are all optimistic, who are solution oriented rather than problem oriented, consistently looking for the problem, consistently looking for, all of these different things as to what's stopping them from achieving the goal. It is your monkey mind that is stopping you from achieving the goal. That's it. So beware of the people that you have around you. If they're always gossiping, or they're always nagging, or they're always complaining, then what's the purpose of keeping them around you? Because people like this will take you out of your own focus. You understand what I mean? You got to really, really apply yourself. When you are trying to achieve something in your life, if you don't apply yourself, the goal you set out to achieve will fly by itself, okay? Somebody else will obtain the same idea you had, and you'll be pissed off a few months later when they come out with the exact thing that you had in mind. So, while there's really no scientific study that says that supports that you are you are on average, like just like the 5 people that you hang around the most. However, there is total truth in this statement, okay? So think about this. Those that we habitually spend time with, they have a profound effect on us, guys, whether we are aware of it or not, okay? The main thing is you want to ask, who am I spending my time with? What effect do they have on my life? And when you do spend time with them, do you walk away feeling better, or do you walk away feeling worse? And if you walk away feeling all toxic and worse, then there's no need to, keep them in your circle. It's no need to, spend so much time with them, whether it's, through email, whether it's on the phone, whether it's at work, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you don't feel better, then you know what? It's time for you to just kind of, create some distance. Because if every time you talk to them, they lower your vibration, guess what? Everything that you set out to achieve that morning is going to be imbalanced throughout the day. And you won't really find the motivation that you originally had when you first woke up, to do what it is that you need to do, because someone else has come and, as we talked about yesterday, drained your energy and sucked you dry of what it was that you were trying to accomplish. Okay, so pay attention to the people that you are around, and that will be a notification or identification to you, so that you can be aware for yourself, because it's going to determine the type of person that you're going to become. All right, so hang around with successful people that get things done. Number 3, you're going to raise your self-awareness. You guys know I'm the awareness queen, being in the present moment, staying in the now. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful personal development tools that can really help you get into the next element of achieving your goals and overcoming self-doubt. Okay, so you want to make use of self-awareness by understanding the root causes to your self-doubt. So once you understand the root causes to your self-doubt, then you can do something about it. You understand? So you don't just let it trigger and then you just let it stay there. You want to ask yourself, what specific situations are actually triggering your self-doubt, okay? And if it's lack of a skill in a certain area, or if it's I don't know, delivering presentations or whatever it is, you might have anxiety about, getting on the phone and talking to people, or whatever the case may be. However, anything can be learned. So even if you don't know it, get your behind out there, okay? Get out there, get the training that you need, or get a coach like me who can help you have a success plan or accountability plan that will be able to help you move forward into the next elevation of where you're trying to go in your life. But you cannot let self-doubt continue to control your life, because it only has as much power as you give it. The moment that the limiting belief comes, accept it as for what it really is. It's just a limiting belief. Now, when you hold on and you take ownership to that limiting belief, then guess what? It has to become your reality, because you gave so much energy to it and you gave so much power to it, that's just the way that the universe works. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you're doubting yourself in your heart, guess what? Even if you try to get past a certain thing, let's say it is doing presentations, your self-doubt is going to show, your uncertainty is going to show. You're going to be speaking and people are going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? Or what the hell is she talking about? Okay, so you want to definitely you want to get past that part, so you want to raise your self-awareness, become aware of what it is that is limiting you. What beliefs are you holding on to that's keeping you in that box? It's time to get out the box. You feel me? All right. So number 4, you're going to practice self-compassion. And I know this could be pretty challenging, practicing self-compassion, because it's so easy sometimes for us to have compassion for other people, but then when it comes time to have compassion for ourselves, it's like we come down on ourselves more than being understanding of ourselves, that we too are growing through certain experiences or whatever the case may be, just like anybody else, So while it's easy to extend compassion to other people, very few people are able to actually temper their self-criticism with self-compassion, okay? And self-compassion is really just being kind to yourself, really just understanding that it's okay to not have it all together. You understand what I mean? No one just wakes up and have it all together. It takes practice. It takes, focusing. It takes you paying attention to the things that are actually getting in your way. Okay. So one thing I know for sure is that, like, when you fail at something, that's important to you. Do you keep a positive perspective about it? Like, what perspective are you holding about it when something doesn't go right? Are you just sabotaging yourself, like, oh my God, I'm terrible. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I suck at this. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to all of the downloads that you're placing into your subconscious mind by talking to yourself like that and not having compassion for yourself, okay? We have to overcome this little trick, you know what I mean, that the brain kind of like throws you under the bus. It causes you to throw yourself under the bus. You know what I mean? So if you become by feelings of inadequacy, then you want to check yourself. When something doesn't go right, do you try to keep your emotions balanced? Do you try to say it's okay that it didn't go right and then just take action on something to help you move past that? Because that's what you have to do, okay? So I'll give you a quick 3-step process that was shared with me by Dr. Neff, who's actually an author as well, okay? So one of the steps, well, I'm just going to give you the 3 steps, okay? So the first step is to notice your own suffering. Notice the things that you're speaking against yourself. Notice the things that you're beating yourself up about, okay? So notice your own suffering, especially when it's caused by self-judgment, because you're judging yourself, you're criticizing yourself. Don't be cold-hearted towards yourself. It does not help you to be cold-hearted to yourself. We got a whole lot of people out in the world that's already cold-hearted towards you, so there's no need for you to do that to yourself. Continue to stay optimistic, continue to stay energetic, continue to know that you can achieve what it is that you set out to accomplish, or whatever you set out to be successful in. And also remember that imperfection is actually a part of our shared human experience, guys. Remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, okay? We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. A part of us having this human experience is to actually deal with the duality that comes a part of this human experience, but being able to self-master, or have self-mastery, to master yourself, to understand when these things are actually happening, okay? So you got to understand, when you came on this planet, there was no contract that you signed that said everything would be perfect, okay? Nothing is always perfect, ever. Even the most successful people have issues. They just deal with their issues differently, and that's how they continue to be successful. Number 5, stop asking for validation. Stop asking for validation. Stop looking for people to confirm to you that what you're doing is right. And I'm going to tell you why, right? And I know sometimes validation, it could be helpful, to have somebody say, oh, this is really good, I love this, or here's some things that you could change about it. All right, but let me tell you what happens when you start asking for self-validation, right? When you seek others' input to or advice, it is helpful. However, if you're in the habit of habitually and continuously asking other people what they think before you make a decision to do something on important matters, you might be weakening your faith in yourself, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what happens. Let's say you're working on a presentation, or let's say you're working on an album, or let's just say you're working on whatever it is that you might be working on. Maybe you're setting up your website, or maybe you're undertaking a new project, or whatever it is, right? Or maybe it's even losing weight, something to that nature, whatever it is, right? The moment that you tell somebody, okay, well, this is the website that I'm building, I want you to take a look at it and tell me what you think. And then if you got like 3 or 4 people telling you all of these different things of what they think you should do, you're actually living out their vision. It's not even really your vision. So it's one thing to have somebody review the website that you made, or review the presentation that you made, to where things can help, from time to time. But if you solely rely on other people validating what's right or what's wrong, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to end up losing your own voice, okay? You're going to end up losing your own creativity, and your product eventually becomes a diluted version of you, a diluted version of your creativity, of your expansion, So take some advice. I'm not saying don't take people's advice. Take some advice. But at some point, guys, you really have to make a decision as to what feels right for you, okay? So even though, somebody gives you a little input, don't start changing everything on your website based on what they said, unless you really know that you really need work on something and somebody gives you advice. You could talk to that person. They could tell you to do one thing, and they could talk to another person and tell you what the other person said is all wrong. You understand what I mean? So, follow your intuition, follow that inner feeling that says, this is right. And if you want to have like a few people look it over occasionally, that's fine, but don't lose sight of your own creativity. Okay, we are all uniquely and divinely created in our own way and in our own likeness. And God has a way of putting the vision that He has in us for us in order to assist other people. Number 6, don't talk about your plans. Shut your trap. Shut your trap. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you tell people about the projects that you're working on, sometimes it could work against you. Okay, so here's the thing, right? If you're working on a project, or you have a plan, right, that you're choosing to accomplish, if somebody, once you tell that person what it is that you want to accomplish, there's a part in your brain that shuts off because it now believes that you already did it. So you might have had all of this motivation about getting it done, but because you spoke it out, and that's not to say don't speak into existence what it is that you're creating. You just need to be mindful of who you're speaking it out to. You understand what I'm saying? Because not everybody is on your side. Some people want the very same thing that you're trying to accomplish. And the moment that you open your mouth, they send this energetic vibration to the goal that you're trying to achieve or that you're looking to achieve. And internally, it gets shut down because they're sending negative energy towards what you said, out of envy, out of jealousy, out of animosity. You understand what I mean? So it's better to keep your trap shut. Don't tell everybody what you're doing. Do it. Let them see it when it's finished, and then you could tell them all about it. But not only can you tell them about it, you could show them better than you could tell them. Okay? So in other words, guys, the gratification that we receive from social acknowledgement, it actually tricks our brain to not feeling that the goal has already been accomplished. So the satisfaction that we experience in the telling actually removes the motivation to do whatever it takes to actually make it happen. So not everybody needs to be in your business. Do what it is that you need to do. Don't really talk about your plans. Just make the plan and execute it and do what it is that you got to do to get it done. Okay? And let them see the end result. Number 7, trust your values. Need I say more? Trust your values. Okay? You have to trust your values. One thing that I know for sure is trusting your gut instinct and trusting your values. Okay? Because more and more we're called to make quick decisions with very little information. So don't allow yourself to make a decision when you don't really trust in what's being presented to you, or you don't really find that it meets up with your self-value or what you feel is in alignment for what's positively productive for you. Okay? You have to trust your gut feeling, because you can feel when something may not be right. You can feel when something might not be in alignment. All right. So one of the best things to do is, when it's something that you want to experience, right? You want to be able to draw from your strengths. And if you become weak because you're not trusting in your own values and you're trusting in the values of someone else, you could completely disrupt everything that you set out to build up. Okay? So when you know what you stand for and you know what's important to you, it becomes easier to make decisions that are aligned with your values, that are aligned with your higher self, that are aligned with what you want to do. So trust yourself, okay? Make sure that you trust you, all right? Know that it's going to be all right. You can trust yourself. You can trust the intuition and the ideas that are coming forth to you, through you, to help you get to the next step. All right. And the last one, number 8. Number 8, I say jump ship. What does that mean? Jump ship. Somebody tell me, what does jumping ship mean to you? Jumping ship means just hopping in it and getting it done, right? I tell you what, there's one voice that's tirelessly pushing away every budding entrepreneur to stop stalling and go ahead and make something happen, right? And then let's just say that, I don't know, let's just say that you're an artist, right? And you have this intuitive feeling to submit your press kit to, let's say, Jive Records, or to go to take your press kit to an A&R event, right? But that limiting belief, self-doubt comes in, and then it's like, oh, these people don't want to hear my music, or they're not signing $1 million record deals anymore, or they're not, just all of these different things will start to show up, right? But if you just jump ship and you just do it, guess what? You're one step closer to achieving what it is that you wanted to achieve, right? So just jump ship, jump right in. What ideas are buried in you because you are not trusting yourself? Maybe perhaps you want to, start, I don't know, a weight loss training to help other people lose weight. Or maybe you want to write a book. Just stop stalling. Because the more you stall, the less you're going to get done. And eventually the idea is going to get buried and it's never going to come to life, which means the person that you're supposed to help, the person that's waiting for your product or your project to bloom, cannot be helped because you're the person that's supposed to serve them. And because you're not authentically showing up for yourself, so that this person can ride the wave of what it is that you have to give to them to help them accomplish what they need to achieve, you put a block in somebody else's success. So just jump ship, guys. I mean, you got to think about it. What's the worst thing that can happen? They say no, they don't respond, they don't answer a call, or what's the worst thing that can happen? So what? Even if they don't respond, even if they don't answer the call, guess what? You took a step forward. You had enough faith and trust in yourself to still present it to them. And that's better than not presenting it to them, because what if they love what you had? What if they love the music you presented to them? What if they love the transcript of the book that you wrote? What if they love it? You would never know whether they love it or hate it because you never submitted it to know what the outcome would be, right? So I'm telling you to overcome your fears, overcome your self-doubt, and just jump ship, guys. Jump ship. Whatever it is, you need to know that self-doubt is mental paralysis. That's all it is. And the cure for it is having the guts to just go ahead and get started. Right. Just go ahead and do it. Do it. And stop sabotaging yourself and making yourself feel like you can't do it. Like there's no way to do it because you don't know how it's going to work out. Just get it done. Do what you got to do and just watch what happens after that. I tell you one thing for sure. The more you push yourself to do things that you don't really want to do, your brain begins activating like new neurons, creating new neurons in your brain, that eventually this becomes a new habit, and you're going to find yourself taking more action on things that you never used to take action on before. So the only way to overcome it is to do it. All right. So I hope that this live was helpful to you. Let's just recap. Number 1, stop making excuses. Number 2, beware of your close circle. Number 3, raise your self-awareness. Number 4, practice self-compassion. Number 5, stop asking for validation. Number 6, don't talk about your plans with people. Get them done, do what you need to do, and keep it moving. Number 7, trust your values, okay? Trust what you feel and trust what you believe in. And number 8, just jump ship. Get it done. Get it done. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to my live today. I hope that this information has blessed you in a major way. I hope that it has enlightened you and, brought you to a higher level of awareness and things that you can really, really do that works, because these are the 8 ways that highly successful people overcome self-doubt. So I just gave you the tools that you need. Use them. Use them. All right. And so also make sure you guys check out my website at www.takiyyahdiamond.com. There you can purchase my personal development books. I have Get Your Life Together, 7 Things You Need to Change Your Life, Wisdom Words of Consciousness, and the upcoming book, Snap Out of It. Okay, so I have books for days that you guys can utilize to actually keep you in alignment and on track. I also create accountability and success plans. I'm also a mindset life coach. So if you have some things that might be hindering you that you just can't seem to overcome, set up a complimentary session with me where you can go on my website and you make the appointment. And then what we would do is we would set up a live one-on-one, a video chat where we would just talk about, what it is that you wish to achieve in your life, or what obstacles you're dealing with in your life that you feel are actually hindering your success. And this is what we're going to focus on, and I can show you some different ways and how I can assist you with getting there. Okay, so you can walk away with clarity. You can walk away with some type of agenda, knowing that you have something in mind, or you have something in your heart, or something written down that you can utilize to take the next step forward. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube page. Yes. Subscribe. Share this video. And once again, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in with me today. And I'm so grateful to have you. You're awesome. I love you. And mine's up.